It is so good to be with you on this Friday afternoon.
1 Corinthians 13 talks about the prime Christian virtue, love. In one paraphrase, that 1 Corinthians 13 chapter ends this way: trust steadily in God, hope unswervingly, love extravagantly, and the best of the three is love. When God gets his hands on us, God enlarges our hearts, and God motivates us to push out the circle of our concern. I'll never forget hearing about how in World War II, a French pastor of a little local church had a beautiful tiny little cemetery in the backyard, and an American in the back of the church, and an American GI became fast friends. They shared everything, and they talked about how in a war they might die at any time, and they were so close, so fond of each other, that the GI said, "I'd love to be buried with you in that beautiful little cemetery behind your church." And the French pastor said, "I'd love that too, but I'm part of a hierarchical church that only allows people of my faith tradition to be there, and you're not of my faith tradition." "Oh, well," said the GI, "but just make sure that if I die first, I get buried close to you." He did die first. He did get buried close to him. Several years later, his family came to see some things about his life and to look at his grave. When they came to the little church, they were delighted to find that the fence enclosed an area that had his grave in it. And they were so surprised. They said, "We thought he was going to be excluded because he wasn't of your faith tradition. He wasn't going to be allowed to be there." And that French pastor said, "Well, I wasn't allowed to bury him within the fence where it lay. But later on it occurred to me, no one was disallowing me from moving the fence out." And God keeps having us move our fence of concern out. And we've had a recent experience of how we're joining forces with a larger community.
And so GLOW is an organization that works with young girls ages 10 to 18 across the world, and they're in 23 different nations. And Rising Tide is just starting a partnership with them, and we'll be doing some programming in October and then have a full mentorship program with them in January. And so we're really excited about how young girls are going to be empowered to be a transformative force for the world and not just be in the little bubble that they know here in Long Beach. And all of us are called to move those fences out and not just be in our little bubbles, and to love and to share God's love. We'll do that Sunday. It's World Communion Sunday. Christians gather around the world to partake of communion on the same day, many at the same time. So let us look in our own little bubble and how we can expand and go worldwide, even while we might be staying on our couch. Have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
God bless you.